All right, well, let's get started today. It's sunny Arizona. It's actually going to be 75 today. Pretty hot for this time of year. I am in a sweater. I just finished working out. I have some big tires here, uh, kegs, and a yoke over there. So I decided, hey, I don't have enough time to post what I want to post, so I'll just do it right now before I shave the dog, because that's my duties for today, is shaving our little corgi. Anyways, today's questions, actually have a few from Riley, and then some random questions that I got asked this week. So the first question is from actually three of them are from Riley. The very first one is screenwriting. Can you recommend any writing books for screenwriting? Actually, yeah, there's several of them. I'll post it here in the notes because I can't think of them off the top of my head. You can find some on Amazon. Actually, a lot of good screenwriting books, you could find them used at thriftbooks.com, and then betterworldbooks.com. That's where I buy a lot of used books. A lot of them are cheaper than Amazon used prices. I buy too many books from those two sites, but you can find a lot of used good screenwriting books. The reason why you could buy used screenwriting books is because the process really doesn't change. It's really the same. So it's been the same for a long time. Now, if you're talking about getting into some serious screenwriting for movies, those are all contacts. You'll have to start building contacts with editors, but not only editors, you have to have an agent. Just like anything else in life, it's who you know. Don't let that discourage you, especially at this level in college. Trust me, start small, and you'll build the contacts you need to position yourself when you're ready to approach one of the big guys. That you'll be ready. But I'll recommend some books here in the little notes for you with screenwriting. Now, an excellent way, and you bring up the next point, the next question is, do you recommend anybody on campus that is into screenwriting? I personally don't know anybody in campus that does screenwriting, but we have major arts departments, right? And guess what they do? They do plays. That format on a play is actually very, very similar to movies. Extremely similar to how movies are structured and TV shows are structured. So you could speak with anybody, pretty much anybody in the arts director or in the arts department. Speak with one of the directors and say, hey, I'm interested in screenwriting. First, there'll be a static that somebody's interested in screenwriting, and they'll be able to guide you a lot better than I can. But second, they'll give you the format that you need to start practicing. So practice, maybe do a local play at your area, high school play. Even elementary school play. I have a lot of teachers in my classes that are elementary school teachers, and guess what? Do a screenwrite. Get that practice, because you could find out, even with little kids, you could find out what's working and what's not working. And it's all practice. It's all getting experience in what you want to get experience in. And there's no better way than volunteering at an elementary school to write a play or two. Screenwriting can be very, very lucrative, but start small, right? Start small, so when you're prepared, make it hard for them to say no. They get a lot of people pitching ideas, and most of them are really crappy ideas, and they're from people that haven't taken those initial steps up front. So slow down a little bit, take those initial steps, practice, and get that little bit of experience underneath your belt to really pitch a story. It's not like the Rocky story, right, where Sylvester Stallone, it's almost like his. Sylvester Stallone pitched his story for Rocky, and was turned down. He actually refined a lot of his writing techniques and ran it through some people that can edit it and put it in the right format, which ultimately landed him the gig. So that's how the process works. Now, last question from Riley is tips on being published. She says she wants to write a book, but she doesn't know how to get published or go down that route. Now, getting published, there's different ways now. Amazon kind of shook up the game about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, with a lot of the self-publishing. Same thing with Ingram Spark. They're making it a lot easier to get self-published versus traditional published. Now, I'm not an expert in any of those. I do professional writing, so companies pay me to write, and then I write for the company, and the company typically will get all the credit if I'm writing under a ghostwriting contract. But for books, it's a whole different ball game. Now, once again, start small. So start small and getting that experience. Don't worry about getting published. Worry about writing a good story. That's the most important. Now, if it's nonfiction, you could do creative nonfiction. There's all the different genres, but the story has to be really good, right? You can't just have a crappy story and then expect a publisher to pick it up. Now, for me, I like both publishers, like traditional publishing and self-publishing, depending on what I'm doing. Self-publishing is really good if you want to have 100% control over every aspect. And for my nonfiction work, I like that self-publishing a lot better. Fiction, I'm getting into fiction, and I'm gonna get published with a major publisher with fiction. But that's just because I find it a little bit easier once you get in with a publisher to have them do a lot of the legwork for you. Even though they get more money, they get a lot more than the authors. It gets your name out there, and then it also, especially for fiction, they'll spin it off on some series, and then they'll position you in a better way to be able to pitch that story idea to the movies, which is kind of what I'm going for. I'll show you probably in my next video exactly what I'm doing with fiction writing, how I learned to write fiction. I am not a fiction writer. By trade, I'm a professional writer, technical writer, but I recently was thrown into fiction. I did not think it was gonna be like this, and I actually like it. I enjoy the process. I enjoy the challenge, and that fiction writing has really helped my my creative nonfiction and my technical writing skills a lot. And I'll show you that in the upcoming video. Okay, next question really quick is, what's my favorite exercise? I hate exercise, actually, but I do it because I'm supposed to, and because it keeps my body healthy-ish, and it keeps me moving. I broke the majority of my body doing combat sports and football, so I'm completely broken up. If I stop exercising, then I fall apart. So my favorite stuff is obviously the strongman stuff. So I have these big tires. This is a huge tire right here, just under 800 pounds. This one's my 478 pound tire. I also have this one over here that's small. It's like 200 and something, 130 something pounds, and then I have another 78 pound one for my kids. I have all the kegs right here with a pad for Atlas stones, which I have over on this other side. So strongman stuff is definitely my favorite things I like to do. I have this big, massive 200 and something pound sled. I hate it. That I'm actually gonna, as soon as it starts to warm up a little bit more. I do not like to work out in the cold. Like, I don't mind working out in 120 degree weather outside at all, ever. It's just working in this cold. I mean, it's cold for us, but 60 degree weather, even 70 degree weather. Like, I'm wearing a sweater at 70 degree weather to just keep my body warm so I don't seize up. But strongman stuff has definitely been a game changer for me. I have a lot of the truck pull stuff and all the weights upstairs that I use. That's my favorite. Well, have a great week, guys. I hope this little tidbit of advice helped. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email or message board, and I'll send out these little videos whenever I can. Now it's my turn to go shave my little corgi because she's bringing dander into the house and it's causing us to get allergies. Anyways, take care, everybody. I'll talk to you later.